The Bitcoin bottom is getting very close right now here. And yes, I have set up over $10 million worth of buy orders on the lower side. I'm going to be exactly explaining these trades here because I've been predicting this Bitcoin dump ever since 180,000 US dollars. And I said always that I set up my orders over here. And now we're getting very close. But one thing is for certain, and that is that today is most likely going to be extremely volatile. Not because the volatility has been already so low here and is about to hit its lowest point since October 2023. It's because also Jerome Powell will be speaking at Jackson Hole at 10 a.m. Eastern time today here, but also because of the fact that the rate probabilities are dropping very, very quickly. So I want to be discussing this here, the odds, what we have seen be happening before here. I want to be talking about the Bitcoin bull market, the seasonality, how we're holding up right now here, and more importantly, I want to be talking about my trade here. I want to be talking about Ethereum. I want to be talking about these massive outflows we got on the ETF here, and yes, I want to be talking about the very strong Q3 we have been seeing on Ethereum and how this is all adding up to where we're currently standing in the cycle. So guys, there's a lot to discuss on today's update video. So don't forget to once again slap off that like button back above 1,000 likes. It would be highly appreciated. And let me jump straight away in towards today's update video. So ever since Bitcoin dropped below this level right here, I said that I was entering my Bitcoin long trades here, and it was a very good decision. I done so. I locked in about 100,000 US dollars in profit, and I said I am going to be opening up a new trade ever since I think it's going to be dropping even further down here. And of course, what Bitcoin did, it dumped even further. And to be honest, yesterday also in the video and the day before as well, I said the charts are not looking very strong here. And to be honest, still right now here, I think the reaction which we're currently seeing on the market is still particularly weak right now here. And honestly, we are right now bouncing from the exact low in the market, but this is usually not how Bitcoin bottoms, because usually how Bitcoin bottoms is with a liquidity grab here, and that is what we have seen in like the last 3 to 4 times here, every single time whenever Bitcoin created the bottom. It was not, of course, on that exact low here. We always did saw a slight little bounce on the exact low here, but usually it was too weak here. Then we grabbed the lower side liquidity and we bounced back higher. And this was also the case over here approximately. Yeah, we saw over here, we came back towards the low, we bounced back towards the upside, but only a couple days later, we still managed to grab the lower side liquidity, and that is exactly, once again, what is happening today, right? We're testing that lower side support level, but usually we tend to squeeze a little bit below it to, of course, fake out all the traders and to fool all the traders, and then ultimately, that is the position where you want to be entering, and of course, that is also what I'm doing with my new Bitcoin trade here. I've set up my orders exactly a little bit lower below of this low. And of course, this level is not just a level. It is also a very important level of previous resistance of this region right here. So it also makes a lot of sense. You want to be waiting for this level right here. So that is exactly what I am currently doing. And guys, I've stated it so many times right now here. If you want to be trading on VX as well here, guys, don't forget to check it out in the first link of today's video description. And if you right now sign up using an account using that first link in today's video description, you will for sure get a 25% fee rebate, which makes VX the cheapest exchange to trade on. So if you're trading with big numbers just like I am doing, VX is definitely the best place to do so because it's the cheapest to operate. But besides that, we just got a new campaign here, and that is if you already sign up an account, use that link below, bind your phone number and email, you will get a reward between the $10 and 100 US dollars. And then if you make some deposits, let's say you deposit $10,000, you will get a free 10K position on Ethereum. So yeah, make sure to check it out in today's video description. And guys, if you also do some trading volume, you will get some extra future bonuses. So there's big bonuses right now up for the grabs here. So make sure to check it out so you can claim these bonuses for yourself here. But anyways, VX is the best exchange to trade on. I am betting very heavily on it as well with my new upcoming Bitcoin trade here, and let me dive a little bit further in towards it, because later today we're going to get the Fed Chair Jerome Powell speech on Jackson Hole, and just like I yesterday discussed there, major volatility is expected on these events here. We see many pump and dumps on the Bitcoin price action, so expect something similar, and make sure to doubt the Bitcoin or Ethereum dump, or either if it's going to be a pump towards the upside, because we do see a lot of fake outs during these times here. And one thing is for certain, for sure, and that is also what we're seeing right now here, always before the Jackson Hole speech here, we tend to see very small volatility, but only later we see big spikes of volatility like you can see on the chart right here. And yeah, this is also exactly what is getting suggested by the Bitcoin Historical Volatility Index. We're right now sitting at one of the lowest points since October 2023 on the volatility index. And of course, this is not going to be remaining forever, but this is going to be ending anytime soon here. And whenever that is going to be ending, we're of course going to be seeing big volatility. But one thing is for certain, and that is, of course, that Bitcoin is consolidating above $110,000. Ethereum is consolidating above $4,000. Things are looking great. The market is still looking great here. We are obviously at the end stage of the cycle if we're looking at the seasonality. And yeah, every single dip at this point of time is still, in my opinion, a good opportunity to load on your positions. Because ultimately, if we're looking at the bull market support band, compare it towards previous bear markets and compare it towards previous bull markets, it basically showed us always, as long as we're trading above it, we're looking good here. But as soon as we break below it for the first time, it usually signals the end of the Bitcoin bull market. Actually, it also did over here. We came below it, and then of course we just had a fake out and we came back down again here. So whenever Bitcoin is going to be breaking below the bull market support band, it is going to show us something about the strength in the market, is going to show us something about the weakness in the market. And ultimately, if you're looking at the 3-day time on a non-logarithmic scale here, you can see that basically the big support is still laying for Bitcoin around $100,000. And if I'm going to be looking at the pure average performance for Bitcoin, August and September are actually the two worst months here for Bitcoin. There's also usually the lowest volatility, the lowest volume also in these months here. So guys, it is indeed a bad period in the market right now here, but of course, greater periods are going to come here because usually Q4 is where the big gains are always realized. So very excited for that here. Bitcoin obviously is right now breaking below the EMA ribbons. I still think it's going to be dropping ever so slightly lower to fill up my orders before it's going to be running very much higher. I do ultimately still think it is going to be running higher, but of course that is because we are seeing still the global liquidity pushing higher right here. But of course, like you can see on the global liquidity, we are going to be facing a period of about like 2 to 3 months here of downward sloping money coming in towards the system. And of course, the last time this happened, it also marked the top for Bitcoin and we went in towards a bigger correction. So yeah, if you're betting once again heavily on the M2 money supply here, yeah, I should be expecting we could be getting somewhat of a bigger dump later in September. And since September is, according to seasonality, also one of the worst months here, it could be quite interesting. And of course, I'm not saying I'm going to be holding this Bitcoin trade open forever. No, guys, I will be closing this trade also quite quickly whenever I can lock in good profits. So make sure to subscribe to the channel. And especially make sure to join my VIP Telegram right now. Because guys, in this VIP Telegram group here, we basically share all setups, trading setups with each other. For example, this one was also shared recently on INA. We share these trading setups here. We talk about the risk level. We talk about the leverage we're taking. And of course, I am also keeping you guys up to date about what I'm expecting about Bitcoin, where my orders are currently standing. So guys, if you want to be staying up to date on all these things here, and of course, we're also engaging with each other in the general chat here. We're talking about trading, etc., etc. If you want to be joining this group here, don't forget to go to the second link in today's video description to join the private Telegram group here. It's very, very valuable. Many trading setups are shared here by 5 professional traders. They definitely have a different outlook on the market than me here. But of course, we debate with each other, and that makes us a very good group here. So if you want to be joining, if you can add some value, make sure to join it on the second link in today's video description. But anyways, guys, I want to continue with the video that, of course, I said the last time the Ethereum dump came is whenever we saw major outflows on the ETF here. And yesterday, actually, we start to see inflows again here. Yesterday, we saw about $300 million worth of inflows on the Ethereum ETF here. Very great to be seeing, of course. And what is also very interesting, and I want you to understand here, we right now are seeing the best Q3 ever for Ethereum. We have never seen such a good Q3 in history for Ethereum. And this once again confirms we are in Q2. Because, of course, if you're looking at Q3 of Bitcoin, it's been only 5 or 6%. Well, Ethereum, it's been 72%. So Ethereum's gains are, of course, absolutely mind-blowing. And I want you to understand this once again shows you we are in phase 2 in the market. And that means that phase 3 and phase 4 are going to follow anytime soon here. So the seasonality is exactly the same like it always has been. And that is what I want you to understand here. This bull market is no different than previous bull markets, and most likely the Bitcoin bull market top here is going to be once again very, very similar like the previous ones. And of course, right now for Ethereum, also a thing I discussed on the private Telegram, I said this is the level where I want to be accumulating, and boom, Ethereum shot towards the upside. Maybe I moved the market, or maybe it was just such an important level, because yeah, you can see this has been very, very important previous resistance, now flipped into support here. And if I'm looking at the imminent short term here, Ethereum is starting to be breaking this downtrend. If we are going to be doing so, we could be in for another run towards the upside. The only thing I'm worried about ever so slightly is that there still is laying a slight liquidity on the lower side on Ethereum. So if we on any chance going to come back towards this level around $4,000, I think it's going to be a very great time to be adding towards my position. Of course, my trade on Ethereum, I'm still holding it open because I do think it's going to be running all the way up to about $6,500. And yeah, that is ultimately my bull market target I've talked about many times before here. And it's only more than normal to see an ever so slight rejection from this previous all-time high resistance, where we of course got a major rejection from last bear market, of course. So very exciting times here. I do think altcoin season is still exactly on track here, and we have about like 6-7 weeks here in this very, very nice period in the market where big volumes are going to get created. So guys, make sure to pay attention towards this market right now here. But anyways, this was it for me in today's update video. It was definitely a little bit of a longer video, but if you did enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, slap on that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.